Attention Blink-182 fans. It is time to rejoice, for DeLonge-awaited release of the Tom DeLonge signature Starcaster from Fender is finally upon us. And boy oh boy, is it a marvelous guitar. Let's talk about it. So what's so special about this guitar? I mean, it's kind of an interesting story. I think it kind of marks the next era for the Blink-182 guitarist and singer. He's returned to the band after like a 7-year hiatus. Blink-182 re-announces their reforming and completely takes the world by storm. And as soon as Tom rejoins, he's seen playing one of these Starcaster guitars. And next thing you know, Blink-182 is on top of the world. And that's pretty insane to think of because they kind of were really known for being very popular in the late 90s to early 2000s. And for a whole 2 decades to pass, and then they're on top of the world again. That's a pretty significant thing. It's easily the most impactful rock and roll comeback of the decade. No questions asked. And I think Fender releasing this signature edition for Tom is kind of giving recognition to that moment and telling people that, hey, this is kind of a really big deal. This is worth recognizing and, sharing with people. So they give him a signature guitar to kind of ring in this new era of rock and roll and welcoming them back to the world of pop punk and rock. And it's a pretty awesome guitar. So let's get into the inner workings of this guitar. I'll start with the obvious stuff. It's a very simple electronic setup. We have a single bridge humbucker and a volume dial. The humbucker is a Seymour Duncan Custom SH5. It's a medium output humbucker, but I think it's a lot hotter than medium output. When we were recording the music for this video, we had our interface turned down almost all the way and the sound waves were still pretty big. So if you like playing rock and roll, it's a good tool for the job. Next, we get into the body shape. We have the Starcaster body shape. It's a semi-hollow design made of laminated maple with a center block going down the middle here. We have a roasted maple neck with a rosewood fingerboard. And on top of that, we have some of the signature Tom DeLonge insignia on the back of the headstock. We have this kind of little alien logo here. And then Tom DeLonge's logo on the back plate. So it kind of really gives homage to Tom himself. The Tom DeLonge Starcaster also comes in 4 different satin finishes. The one that I have here is the Shoreline gold finish. There's a shell pink as well as a seafoam green and Olympic white finish. So you get these very pop punky colors to select from, which I think is a very nice touch. And in addition to all this, I think it's really worth mentioning that the simplicity of this design really allows for the guitar player's creativity. You could slap some stickers on here if you wanted. Tom was known for decorating his guitar, and I think that maybe could be the reason why this guitar is kind of taking such an open canvas approach to its design. So toss some stickers on here, spray paint it a little bit if you want, get as pop punk as you want to, or just keep it the way it is. It looks very beautiful on its own. Another thing I'll mention is that when I think of Tom, I think of him playing either his signature Fender Stratocaster or his Gibson ES333. The Starcaster kind of looks like both. It's like they took elements from each guitar and combined them into one. So I really think that gives the player that true Blink-182 aesthetic that we all know and love. Well, there you have it, folks. A new guitar for a new age of Blink-182. If I'm giving you my honest opinion, I don't need any of the fancy vocabulary and descriptions. This is just a good playing guitar. All of the ones that we got into the shop, as soon as we took them out of the box to try them out, the intonation was absolutely perfect. They didn't need any setups. They were ready to play out of the box. So I really appreciate that. And on top of that, like, the design is very simple but very satisfying. It looks authentic, it feels authentic, and all of the little aesthetic features that you get just work with one another. So if you're a Tom DeLonge fan or a Blink-182 fan, I think this is kind of a must-have for your collection. I can probably guess that these are going to go pretty quickly, so get them while you can. And also, leave us a comment below if you want us to do a comparison between this and his signature Stratocaster. We'd be more than happy to oblige. Until then, this is the Fender Tom DeLonge Signature Starcaster, a simple and excellent guitar. As always, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.